Hey guys, Furum here, and today I have a very special video for you. I will be showing you all tracks in Asphalt 9. A very big thank you to Sumit Saha, who provided me with these clips. I will link to his channel down in the description. Be sure to check him out. Throughout the video, I will be giving my thoughts and opinions on all of the tracks in Asphalt 9, as well as giving some other information about the game. So enjoy! The first of 7 tracks in the game is Scotland, which I am showing you right now. This track is set near the coast on a cloudy day. There are a lot of curves in the track, but no extremely sharp turns that I can see. It appears to be a more simple track with not too many ways to go, although there are some different routes. They are not too different or too crazy. Over to the right, there is now a lighthouse, which means we are coming very close to the water, which we can now see. Now, with a pretty large jump, we head into a bit of a shipping yard with this peninsula sticking out into the ocean for us to drive on. As you can see, there is water to the right and the left. We can choose whether to stay on land or go on a ship, and the ship is the faster route in this case, and it looks very detailed inside. This is one thing about Asphalt 9 and all the Asphalt games that is just amazing. The amount of detail they put into everything is just superb. We are now entering a tunnel that feels a bit like the Iceland cave from Asphalt 8, but thankfully it is not nearly as irritating. And here we come to the end of the track. Scotland is a medium-length track for Asphalt 9. Now we move on to San Francisco, which is probably one of the nicest looking tracks in the game. But of course, all tracks in the game look nice. Asphalt 9 has amazing graphics, as you can tell. It has much more realistic lighting and shading, and compared to this, Asphalt 8 certainly does look more cartoony. I believe Gameloft was going for more of a realistic feel in Asphalt 9, and that was a pretty cool knockdown right there. But anyways, the physics engine in Asphalt 9 much more closely resembles Asphalt Extreme than it does Asphalt 8, which again adds more to the reason why I'm thinking they're trying to make this a more realistic game, although you can still do 360s on the ground. I'm not sure how realistic that is. So the first section of this variant of the track, yes, there are many variants of each track, is going through downtown San Francisco, but now we come out close to the coast and we will soon see the Golden Gate Bridge. It is just around the bend, and there it is. We can see it in the distance once we go up the ramp. I remember a lot of people have wanted to see San Francisco in Asphalt 8, and well, it's been added to Asphalt 9. And boy, does it look amazing. Unfortunately, you cannot drive on the bridge, but you can go underneath it, as you can see here. And this is where the thumbnail of my video came from, right under that part of the bridge. This is probably one of the longest track splits in any of the tracks. Just now are the tracks coming back together again, and there's been a full 25 seconds of track separation. Taking the left path allowed us to see the Golden Gate Bridge. If we had gone right, that would not have been the case. Out to the left, there is a bit of a shorter route, which is a dock. So yes, this track certainly has a variety of routes to go as well, and we are now finishing. This is also a fairly medium-length track. Now for the Himalayas, which is one of the longer tracks in the game. In this race, we are using the BMW Homage, which is a C-Class car in this game and not an A-Class car, which does more accurately represent its real-life stats. So here we go up a very large ramp. This is one thing I really like about Asphalt 9. There are all sorts of huge airtime places, which we didn't see in Asphalt 8 until the introduction of, I believe it was Tenerife. So this track has a wide variety of terrain. There's dirt, as we can see here, and later on there is an ice cave, which is the name of a track in Asphalt 8, and we also, even later, have a bit of a snowy portion, which is quite nice, and it reminds me of Patagonia, which also has an ice cave, a more dirt portion, and a snowy portion as well, and also a portion with paved roads. So it seems that so far in Asphalt 9, they have not added moving traffic to the roads like we have in Asphalt 8. There are plenty of cars on the edges of the tracks, as we've seen go past, and one as we see here. It appears that the Homage retains its amazing armor from Asphalt 8. Now we are coming to probably what is one of the coolest parts of any Asphalt 9 track so far, the Ice Cave. It's cool, get it? Anyways, this part in particular reminds me very much of the Patagonia Ice Cave. Except this time, the graphics are much more realistic looking. Another interesting thing about Asphalt 9 is that when one car picks up a nitro bottle, it does not disappear for a couple seconds. Instead, it slowly refills over a couple seconds. So if you get a nitro bottle, say 1 second after the car in front of you got it in multiplayer, then you would get about half of the nitro bottle. It's very nice. And here we come to the end of the slightly longer Himalayan track. Up next, we have a city track set at either dawn or dusk. It is Rome, Italy, and this time we are driving in a Porsche. Oh, and by the way, even though I wasn't the one who recorded these clips, it would be kind of confusing to keep saying he did this, he did that, so I'm just saying we. So here we come into the middle of the Colosseum. I don't know if you saw it. Unfortunately, that is one thing about these racing games. All the nice work they put into buildings and stuff just kind of goes by so quickly. So in Asphalt 9, you cannot drive it quite like you can Asphalt 8. Asphalt 9 relies a lot more on keeping momentum through jumps and stuff, whereas Asphalt 8 relies more on taking turns sharply and being very precise. And here we come to another big jump. I don't know why, but I always find these to be some of the coolest parts of the racing games, the big jumps. This track reminds me a lot of the Venice track in Asphalt 8 because of its relatively narrow streets. It has the same kind of feel, and there is a river running through it. So I'd like to point out now the whole feature of touch drive that's in Asphalt 9. You'll see on the left it says touch drive on. Basically what you do, when you come to a decision, 2 or 3 little circles will appear underneath the nitro bottle. See here, we can either go straight, take the middle ramp, or take the left ramp, all of which you can see back there. And we choose to go left to go onto this path in the middle of the river, which is pretty cool. Basically, with this touch drive mode, the car drives itself, and all you choose is just where it goes. Now, that may not sound appealing to a lot of you, and thankfully, you can turn it off if you would like to. Now, when you're watching on a video, you can't see it make a whole lot of a difference, but once the pros get to the game, you probably will be able to. I don't think touch drive will do very good for getting good event times, because the car just drifts way too much. Now for a track set during the night. It is in Shanghai, and we are again driving in the BMW Z4. So while this track is set in the same city as a track in Asphalt 6 and Asphalt 7, the track layout is not the same as in either of those games. That's the cool thing about Asphalt 9. It does not carry over any tracks from any of the previous Asphalt games. In Asphalt 8, for example, Azure Coast is actually Monaco from Asphalt 6. Everything in this game is new and fresh, which is one reason I think people are so excited for it. It has been out for over 2 months now, and it has just come out for iOS in 2 countries, Thailand and the Philippines. Now, technically, anyone on iOS can play this game now by changing your account region and by using a VPN from one of those countries. But I personally think it will just be best to wait until the game comes out, because there will be less hassle, the game will be more complete, and there will be less bugs. And yeah, I'm just going to wait until the game comes out completely before I play it on Windows, even if it does soft launch on Windows in a different country, most likely. After a big jump, we come to the end of the Shanghai track. Now remember, these are not the only variants of these tracks. I believe there are like 50 to 60, maybe even 70 different variants total. In this video, I will just be showing you the 7 tracks, one variant of each. We are back with the homage on my personal favorite track so far that I've seen in Asphalt 9. It is the US Midwest, and there is so much detail in this. Look, you can even see a tornado over to the right destroying a ship or something like that, and here we see the first example of a wreck in Asphalt 9. Is it more or less realistic than Asphalt 8's? I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know what you think about that. But oh man, this track has so many different ways to go. As you can see on the map, there's like half a dozen different routes. We've just gone through a railroad yard, I believe, and now we enter a short tunnel, which, as you will see in a bit, is actually a railroad tunnel, evidenced by the train coming straight for us on the right there. Yeah, this track has moving trains on it. much like Munich, except these are the more freight kind of trains. It is interesting that a large portion of this track does not take place on roads, but rather on railroad tracks. That is a first for an Asphalt game. And now we have another two big routes. We could either stay up to the right and stay on top, or we fall down into this cavern as we have done. These routes stay different for a long time, as you can see on the map up there. Based on the videos I've seen, it seems like the upper right route is slightly faster, but that was on the reverse version of this track, and as we know from Tenerife with the whole cave, some routes can be faster going one way than they are going the other way. So we round the final bend of the US Midwest, go up a barrel roll, and come to the finish line on what is probably, as I've said before, my favorite track of Asphalt 9. The US Midwest is one of the longest tracks in Asphalt 9, and this track, Cairo, is perhaps the shortest one. Now, I can see this because of the length of the clips in my editing software, but if you look on the upper left corner, you will see distance. This percentage goes up quicker on this track than it does on the other tracks. This percentage simply shows you how far you are through the track. So there are several other differences I'd like to point out between this game and Asphalt 8. The speed is in the upper right-hand corner, and the things on the right that tell you drift or perfect run or whatever are much cleaner and smaller, and they stack up on the right-hand side of the screen. That spin you do on the road, by the way, is just called a 360. So we are coming up close to the end of Cairo, the final track of this video. I would like to again say thank you to Sumit Saha for letting me use these clips. Whenever Asphalt 9 comes out for Windows, I will definitely be playing it too. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 and 9 content. I will see you later. Goodbye.